Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's NASCAR 08 coverage on the channel. Craftsman Truck Series racing at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, race number 18 of 25 for the New Hampshire 200. And in this stream here today, I think it's going to be an interesting race. We are starting on the pole, but it does seem like whenever I qualify at the back, I seem to have the fastest car in the field. When I qualify towards the front, like we did at the Dodge, I keep wanting to say Dodge Raceway because every NASCAR game we played up until this game, it was Dodge Raceway, but the Tiburon Raceway for the Busch race yesterday, qualified up at the front, 6th place. Right front tire was fading on me quite a bit, and that was a flat short oval. This is another flat short oval here today, so we'll see what the tire wear is going to be like. Tried to make my truck as loose as I could while still having rear stability based off of how I was in practice. I was 5th in practice overall, and then I qualified on the pole, so we'll see. I did pick up a couple tenths from practice into qualifying, so that allowed me to qualify on the pole. We shall see how the race is going to go. It's going to be one of the longer truck races on this season. Green flags in the air, and we're underway. Good launch on the initial start. The commitment level has to be so high at this racetrack, because I found so much extra time in practice that I was giving up to everybody else. I mean, you have to commit to just kind of sailing it off into the corner. You almost have to drive this truck like it's a modified. Or the way I've done modified races at New Hampshire on these EA games. Closing in on the championship. I'm hoping I can clinch the title this week, which means that I would wrap up the truck series this week. I have 4 races scheduled today through Thursday on the channel, and if we do well enough in all 4 of those races, we can definitely clinch the title. 28.595 that last lap. I'm actually slightly pulling away, which I'm quite surprised. The apron's got a lot of grip. I was able to test that out in practice too. Bam Hall, Wade, Billy Kramer, thanks for tuning in, guys. It's going to be interesting to see how many pit stops we're going to have in this race, too. I'm not sold on it being a one-stop race. It might be 2 pit stops. I could see us pitting about every 60 to 70 laps rather than every 100. The good news is, as my truck is quick right now, the only other thing is am I getting too far out ahead right now that my right front's going to be burning up later in the run? And honestly, if it does, I hope I get out to as big of a lead as I possibly can before that happens. Because yesterday I didn't. We did come back to finish 2nd, but we didn't have any real shot at the win. And Denny Hamlin ended up winning our race. I'm not committing as high as I was in practice, which is why my lap time's like 3/10 off of what it was in qualifying. But knowing that I'm pulling away, doing what I'm doing right now, I don't want to push any harder. I know I can at least for a little bit until the tires start to wear out, but we've already got a 3-second lead. Now this is kind of looking like New Hampshire of the old NASCAR EA games we played already on the channel. Got your back fixed? Well, that's good. And no need to suffer. You're too young to have back problems. Ran my fastest lap of the race that time. Only by a few hundredths of a second. I think a 28.555, or is that a 5.65? I can't even tell. It might even be 6.65. It looks like 5.55. I'll tell you what, these graphics on this game, again, with my TV, and I know I've said it before, but for some reason I feel like they got worse. And I try using a higher resolution. But I feel like the older games have better graphics than this NASCAR 08 game does. And your neck. Oh man, it's just a whole spinal deal. Ah, threw your back out on the generator. That's tough. I've only thrown my back out once, but it wasn't bad. Like, I was fine the next day. I could feel it in my sleep that night when I would try to roll over. But then throughout the next day, just kind of, the pain went away. Oh man, a lot of smoke off turn 4. No caution. This is the first time I've raced at New Hampshire on this game. We haven't touched this track on any of the series for NASCAR 08. Now there's more smoke off turn 4. I have a feeling tomorrow night at Las Vegas is going to be hectic in a bad way. Cardinals got the Cubs this week. Tigers have off tonight. I'm kind of confused at why the scheduling had them going out to Tampa for 3 games and then coming back home again. Especially with no travel day before the trip to Tampa. Because that really screwed them considering that they had a doubleheader, which obviously when they create the schedule, I mean, you got to figure that most of these teams are going to end up having at least a couple doubleheaders throughout the season. Now they're smoking turns 3 and 4. I'm surprised we haven't seen a caution yet, considering I've seen smoke in the turns 3 and 4 area of the racetrack 3 times in these first 13 laps already. I'm slowly getting quicker. Now in turns 1, my goodness. It's getting chaotic back there. The good news is I'm bad fast. The bad news is my truck going to fall off like it did in the Busch race on a flat track yesterday. And if you're wondering why I'm referring to yesterday and you're like, oh, Keegan, you didn't do a gaming stream yesterday. I didn't, but we ran the Busch race at Tiburon Raceway on the NASCAR live commentary stream. The reason why I did that is because we had a 2-hour rain delay from when we started the stream to the time that the actual Pocono race started. And we got through our normal pre-race. I did an extra NASCAR trivia quiz. So after about 40 minutes of trivia quizzes, my brain was kind of fried. I'm like, we got to do something else. So to kill about the last hour and a half or so, we ran a full Busch race. And because the next Busch race is at Nazareth, I'm going to have to do that on a day off, and I didn't feel like doing that today. The reason why I say that is because it's supposed to be 300 laps, which is going to be the length of about a cup race, so I know it's going to be long. And I'm going to need about 3 hours of availability to be able to pull that off, which honestly, Sunday next week would be a great day for it, considering that the cup race is on Saturday night. So it's kind of what I'm eyeballing for next weekend on the channel. There were a couple times when I really tried to commit that I would overdrive the corner and get back into the gas too soon, and I knew I was going to mow the wall down a ton, so then I had to lift. It was hard to figure out. I'm glad I did practice and gave myself enough time to do so, because had I not done that, I definitely wouldn't have set the pole lap. Which means I definitely wouldn't be leading right now. And I did mess up on my first lap of qualifying too, but luckily I stayed calm. I regathered myself. Luckily my mistake was in turns 1 and 2. If it was in 3 and 4, it would have hurt my second lap. But I had another half a lap to kind of get my momentum back up again and set the best lap on lap number 2, which is not what I was expecting to do. But I probably picked up like a half a second from one lap to the next because I knew I made a big mistake on the opener lap. Already catching our first lap truck, only 20 laps in. We've got over a 5.5 second lead. Paul Blackburn's my brother. Yeah, that's apparently it's my long lost twin brother. Some guy at my work a while back brought that to my attention. I don't see it, but anybody I showed that picture to said that they see it. So I guess I'll have to take their word for it. It's because I look at myself in the mirror every day, so I kind of know the little discrepancies of my DNA make, I guess, that it doesn't look like him, at least to me. I like how I was approaching him quick and he just got out of the way for me. Yeah, 2 trucks a lap down already. The speed we have, I can lap the field if we have a long enough green flag run. I still don't know what the field window is going to look like. Oh boy, we got big trouble. I'll have to keep an eye on the track map because there's been a lot of instances where there's been a ton of smoke everywhere, but we haven't seen a yellow. I wonder if we're going to get any debris cautions because of vehicles being too damaged. I'm also glad I'm not around anybody when this is happening. Another reason why it's good I qualified on the pole. Keep my truck clean and we'll keep the speed in it. Well, there's our first yellow. Lap 23, and it was only a matter of time. With the amount of contact that we didn't see, but we saw the aftermath of it, I kind of figured we were going to get a caution at some point. It's the 121 truck, it looks like. Not sure what... Oh, just spun off turn 4. Did he get into the back of somebody? Like, did they check up and then he... That was a weird spot to wreck on his own if he didn't have contact. Because he was basically off of turn 4. He might have hit the wall and got sideways. I don't know. It was hard to tell from both those camera angles, but caution's out. First time. Scooble on the mound tomorrow. There we go. I mean, that automatically gives us like a 80% chance to win any given game. Guy's a beast. I'd like to think he'll do good against the Athletics. I know he started opening day against them last year because I went to that game. That was actually one of his worst outings of the year, oddly enough. And then opening day this year, too. Something about opening day. He's just got to get a couple games under his belt and get in a rhythm. Green flag back in the air, following our first caution. Lap 23. I think we'll see more. I don't think it's going to be a caution fest necessarily, but I could see a yellow every, 20, 30 laps like we just had. Which, until we know exactly how far we can go on fuel, it's going to be tough to kind of gauge all that. If we can make it on one last stop, that'd be great as long as the tire wear is good. And so far through 28 laps, we're good. Now, it did take 40 laps, and now we're under caution again. Well, that didn't take long. A couple of yellows back-to-back there. Got 2 green flag laps in between. Michael Turner, thanks for tuning in. He hit the wall. Well, the 101's got damage. That's Carswell. He's won a race already this season. He won the second race of the year at California Speedway. We've only finished outside the top 10 2 times all season for both the Busch and the Truck Series. We ran about 20 races in both. Yeah, give me my track position. I don't want to put myself back in that traffic. It's kind of like our Watkins Glen truck race last Tuesday night, where we had a bunch of yellows, and we just got to keep track position, because if I'm back there, I'm going to put myself at risk of getting involved in somebody else's business or misfortune. Playing more of my MLB Road to the Show this weekend, and I was having a career year until I had a fractured foot and I missed 60 days of action. And then I come back from injury, and after 2 or 3 more weeks of playing, I ended up missing another 10 days for bruised ribs because I crashed into the wall. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I play right field. I'm having a lot of fun with it, honestly. There's a lot to do with the player build in that game compared to the MLB The Show games that I've played over the years. That was a game, like, I would get it every year until about, like, 2011, I want to say, on the PSP, and then I had that one for a really long time. And I don't think I got another one until whatever year Miguel Cabrera was on the cover. I honestly don't remember off the top of my head. I had that one for a few years, and then I had 18, and then I had 21. So it was kind of like an every few years kind of game. Because I tried to go, like, in-depth when I do the Road to the Show. Like, I try to give myself, like, a 20-year career just to see where I'm at. And that takes a lot of time to get through. Now, I've been grinding it out so much. I'm in my 8th season so far, but I've also missed a total of about 1 year and 3/4 due to injury over the course of those 8 years. So really, I'm like 6 seasons in. But still, yeah, I've been grinding away at that. Especially with it being hot this weekend. I wasn't doing anything outside I didn't have to. I did have to mow the lawn yesterday before the race. I went out at 9 o'clock in the morning. It was already 91 degrees. High of 98 today. 14 was Miggy. Yeah, I was going to guess 14 or 15. I figured with him winning the Triple Crown around there that it would make sense that he would have been on the cover one of those years. So 2 cautions, and as I was about to talk about the yellows, we just hit our 3rd. Lap 37, so we're averaging a caution just over every 10 laps. And it's Carswell again, and I would assume it's another debris caution for him. I was expecting our Caution Fest race to be tomorrow at Las Vegas because we had double-digit cautions when we raced at Vegas earlier this season. We have a second race there, apparently, so look out, field. That'll be another one. We just got to keep track position. Currently playing MLB The Show 24. Yeah, if you get a chance for 20... Now, granted, I didn't have, like, 22, 23, 24. But I had 21, and I didn't really care for the Road to the Show in that one. And I heard it was basically copy and paste for a few years. But this one is vastly different. And I like the ability that you can build whatever you want with your player. Offensively, defensively, base running. Like, you can build, like, anything you want at any given time. Like, I was focused on hitting there for a little bit, and I'm like, you know what? I'm having fun running bases. I'm trying to set the stolen base record, which is something that I've never even tried to attempt. 120 in a single season is going to be tough, though. The problem is I hit too many doubles. Too many doubles, and I'm not as likely to steal 3rd as I am to steal 2nd. I don't get caught stealing much. I had, I think my career high, I had like 91. 91 or 92. And I don't know how I'm going to get to 120. For one, I have to stay healthy, which is going to be tough because I feel like every season I miss at least a week or 2. And I'm going to need all 162 games. Like, there will be some games I'll steal 2 or 3 bases, and then I'll go like 4 or 5 games in a row without stealing one just because I'm too many home runs or something. It's gonna be tough. My base running's like a 92, I think, overall. So yeah, that's my update on MLB The Show. Back to the race, lap 44. We're already halfway out of gas, so it is probably looking like a 2-stop race today, considering that I can't make it to lap 100. Now it's just up to me to decide when exactly I'm going to pit. I don't know if the fuel window is closer to 70 laps or 80 laps. With the cautions, if we get a few more yellows, I could probably go about 80, but there's no sense of me really doing that knowing it's a 2-stop race. I think I have to pit as soon as I get to about lap 65, 67. You know, 65 would be a little short of that, but if we catch a caution somewhere around there, I think I have to pit. So that's our strategy for today. Yeah, I mean, dynamic's good because that kind of based the difficulty on how you're playing. I do like that ability. Because it'd been a few years since I played an MLB The Show game, so I didn't even play 21 for the last couple of years now. I was on the PS4, and I got a PS5. It was a little getting used to. I was swinging late on fastballs a lot. It was really hard for me to get ahead of a fastball for a while. So I was like relying on them throwing off-speed pitches in the zone that I could hit. My PCI placement's terrible. Because I'm not used to using it. Especially on like the older games, there never was one. Like the really old MLB The Show games. I'm talking like, you know, PS2 days, because I have a PS2. You're a pitcher? Yeah, I want to go back through and do a pitcher one for sure too. Still early in the baseball season. They're not even halfway yet. Well, they're about halfway, but I got plenty of time through the summer to dig into that. That's why I'm trying to grind away at that will be the show. Because once I get into the off season, I'm not going to want to play it anymore. I don't know about you guys that play other sports games, video game wise, but if you do, it's hard to play when it's not that actual season. Now, because I love racing so much, I can play NASCAR games year round, but you know, I don't have a problem doing that on the channel. But when it comes to like playing football games, for instance, like when I was binging NCAA 25 through the football season last year, it was cool. And then once, you know, it got to like February, March, I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to play this anymore. Because it's one of those things, like I watch the sport and then I get the urge to play the video game. Like every time I go to a baseball game or a hockey game, I'm like, oh, I got to play NHL when I get back home or something. Like, gets the juices flowing a little bit. Because that's the only way I can do it competitively, I guess, play that sport. Be through the video game ranks. Especially with hockey, because I've never played hockey before. All right, this truck is getting a little bit tighter with those right side tires wearing out in the yellow. Our lap time hasn't fallen too much. I'm still within about 1/10 of a second of our fastest lap, but I'm definitely having to back the entry up a lot more to get the truck to the apron or at least at that yellow line like I want it to. Had 3 cautions in the race so far. We've gone green for about the last 13 laps now. We've had 2 debris yellows and 1 crash. And there's another one. Yeah, I figured, I mean, we were averaging almost 10 laps of caution. Or not 10 laps, a caution, but a caution every 10 laps. And we were at that 13 lap mark. More debris. I mean, we've had a bunch of trucks making contact. There was a lot of smoke everywhere for a lot of that first green flag run, which was about 20 plus laps. Still a little outside of our window, so I'm going to stay out again. That's caution number 4. We're going to restart at lap 57. Green flag back in the air. The cautions are making this race way more competitive. Because the only way we're going to lose this race is on strategy, so we have to stay on top of it as best as we can. I clearly have the truck to beat. It's kind of like the Bristol race, where I had the truck to beat, we fell behind on strategy, and it cost us. We finished 14th, so let's not do that today with this New Hampshire race, and let's try to stay on top of this the best we can. Even if things are out of our control with the timing of the yellows. We definitely don't want to pit under green. But the way we're averaging our cautions right now, I think we're okay for the moment. NCAA football 26 out. Wow, it's out that early in the year? It's gonna be too hot out to think about football. It's what, mid-July? It's like a month and a half before the season starts. That's crazy. I didn't realize it came out that early. I guess they try to space it out with when Madden comes out, so I guess that makes sense, because there's probably a lot of overlap there. I remember, wasn't there a year when, I think it was the year NASCAR Heat 5 came out, like right in the middle of the summer, and the F1 game came out within the same time frame? Like, it might have been the same week, or like within a couple weeks of each other. I don't play any of the F1 games, but I thought I remembered, and it had to have been NASCAR Heat 5, because there's been very few NASCAR video games in the last half decade or so. I can't get NCAA. If I get NCAA that early in the year, then I'm not going to be playing MLB The Show as much as I want to. So I think I need to grind. I'm just going to wait till football season, honestly, and it'll probably drop in price like 10, 15 bucks. Because I did have a lot of fun playing the NCAA game last year, so. Yeah, Madden always comes out around my birthday every year. I would actually get that for my birthday a lot growing up. It would fall on like that weekend or the weekend after almost all the time. Then there was a point in time it was starting to come out like towards the end of August. I didn't like that because then my birthday already passed like 2 or 3 weeks before that, but yeah, I would get Madden for my birthday like all the time. Because I would always get it would basically be a pick. It's like, oh, what do you want for your birthday this year? When I was a kid, I'm like, oh, I want the new Madden game. And then like, all right, that's what it was. So it was like an every year deal. I didn't care. Yeah, that and NASCAR are the only two like sports games that I would play annually every year when the game came out. And then I stopped doing that with Madden. Gosh, I don't even know when the last one I had. Whatever. I think the year Antonio Brown was on the covers at 19. That was the last Madden game I played. Like, newer Madden game. If it gets good again, I'll buy it. But, you know, I venture on YouTube. Probably like what other people do when I play NASCAR games. The new NASCAR game rolls around and people stumble across the channel. They want my feedback on it. And I'll give them the honest feedback. And there's other like NFL content creators out there that kind of do the same thing. And they don't care for the game. And I'm like, well, if they don't enjoy it, then I'm probably not going to. Although I'm probably easier to please than them. Yeah, I remember a bit of Madden 11 because most of the years I had a PSP for the longest time. So pretty much like any Madden game that came out for the PSP, that was the version that I got from like 09 through, at least 09 through 11. I don't really remember playing Madden 08 much. That might have been one that I didn't have. 06 was always my favorite because that was one I would go back to a lot, which is the reason why I got it for my PS2. Like, I could play that every football season, and I don't care that I'm not buying the new Madden game because I have a lot more fun playing Madden 06. Brings me back to the glory days too, when I have Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers on the franchise, so I get a couple years with Favre, and then that's great. Plus, they have like tournaments on there you could play. I mean, there was so much on those old EA games. Even with these NASCAR games, to a certain extent, when you go back and play a NASCAR Thunder 2004 or NASCAR 05. There's just so much you can do offline. It's great. I've never been an online player. No, I don't play it. I'm not going to get a handheld game again. I'm too old for that. My neck will be like yours. You were talking about your neck being sore or whatever earlier. All right, so the next caution that comes out, I'm definitely going to hit pit road. Had 4 cautions so far in the race today. In our first 70 laps of action. NASCAR 05 chase for the cup is terrible. No, that's my favorite. That's my favorite NASCAR game of all time. I don't know if you made that comment just purposely insult me or not. I feel offended. That's probably the best soundtrack on that game of any other NASCAR game, too. NASCAR Thunder 2004 gives it a run for its money on the soundtrack and the gameplay, really, too. But especially at the time, like, so many career modes have been based off of that one where you kind of, you fight to the top. You know, you start at the bottom, you work your way up. And that was the first game of it, so you got to kind of put yourself in the shoes of somebody that played it for the first time ever growing up. Like, when that game first came out and I played it, I loved it. I was like, oh, man, where's this been my whole life? So there is a bit of nostalgia with it if I ever went back and played it. Obviously, we already did a playthrough of it on the channel before, but... '04 is right up there, but I love '05. I mean, I love NASCAR Thunder 2004 too, don't get me wrong. Honestly, when I went back and played NASCAR 06, I had a really tough time with it because the game was harder than I remembered it being. But I had a good, fun time with that game too on our classic game playthrough. Really, 04 through 07, they don't miss. I mean, 06, 07, they're kind of copy and paste a little bit from 05, but the gameplay of it is still really fun. And then you get to this, and there's definitely a downgrade on NASCAR 08. I knew that from the beginning. Lap 76, we're very light on fuel and looking like we're going to have to pit under green, but I've been holding out to see if we catch a caution. Got a couple of trucks on pit road right now. Going to try to stay out at least one more lap. We got more of the leaders coming in. I know I'm really pushing it on fuel, but I don't want to get trapped a lap down. Had too good of a race going for ourselves. I really didn't want to have to pit under green, but I didn't think we were going to go over 20 laps before the next yellow. See, there's more smoke off turn 2 right there, and I've seen that a couple times during this green flag run already. Only 1 crash and then 3 debris yellows for our 4 cautions. And try to go one more. Pit road's very congested right now. Lap 78. I am really pushing it on gas. I think I'm going to pit this time. I don't want to run out of gas. I've already pushed it quite a bit. Oh, I hit a bump. I hit that invisible bump. I forgot that was there. I haven't raced at this track in this game. That was the first time I had an issue with it. Almost missed the pits because of that. That would have been bad. No adjustments, though. Obviously, the truck is super fast. Oh, and caution is out while we're on pit road. See, that's why I was trying to stay out. But I think because we came in, I don't think we clearly didn't lose a lap yet. There's no way. I didn't even get to my pit box. The time it takes to make a lap here, yeah, I should be on the lead lap. Had that caution came out one lap later, though, I would have been a lap down. But I think because it came out when it did, we're probably going to cycle back into the lead. I think he ran out. Yeah, that truck ran out of gas. It's our 5th caution of the day, but he definitely ran out of fuel. He was so close to pit road. He was probably trying to pit that time. Oh, just ran out, parked it. Right in the middle of the grass. He's like, screw it, they can come get me. Alright, so we made our stop. We'll stay out. And we can push it quite a ways from here. 119 to go. Green flag back in the air. Back in the lead. We've led every lap so far, by the way, because of the timing of that caution. We might be able to go wire to wire. I'm going to do what I can to lead every lap. Well, I gotta think big picture here. We gotta do what we can to win the race. And if we lead every lap along the way, then bonus. The truck gets tighter over the course of the long run, but it is nowhere near as bad as what it was for that Busch Series race yesterday. Just ran our fastest lap of the race on these fresh tires. 28.248. That was around what I put down in qualifying. I mean, that's got to be almost the same as what I put down in qualifying, honestly. Bump on the apron at turn 4. Kind of overdrove the entry a little bit that time. Yeah, I'm not that low on my natural racing line. So that's probably why I haven't hit it during the course of the actual race itself. Well, we definitely lucked out with the caution coming out when it did. 5 yellows so far in the race. Sure that we are far from the last one. With the amount of yellows that we've seen, and we've still got one more pit stop left in the race at some point as well. Oh, I hit the bump there. That was not the apron. Both of the front tires came up off the ground. I guess it's just pure randomness as to when I hit it. Slight wall scrape. It's kind of crazy that I'm this fast in the race and qualified on the pole. Yet for some reason, I wasn't fastest in practice and I was 5th overall. Now, granted, I did pick up 2/10 in qualifying, I guess. That was my fastest lap I've ran here. 28.182. That's faster than my pole lap. We've got almost a 5-second lead already. The truck in the Busch Series, I mean, they're just so much easier on this game. Even with the struggle yesterday we had at Tiburon Raceway, still able to finish 2nd. 28.133. We get back to the Cup Series, I'm probably going to have a shock back to reality when we run that Coke 600, because I didn't win either the truck or the Busch race at Charlotte, so I can imagine with B-tier equipment in the Cup Series at Evernham with Casey Kane that I'm probably going to struggle in that race. That guy is super slow. Speaking of super slow, somebody's blowing up on the apron down here, too. 110 truck. Hopefully nobody hits him. Doesn't have rivals and allies, not a good NASCAR game. NASCAR 5 does have rivals and allies. Well, caution's out again. 6th of the race. Somebody hit that. No, that was a lap before. Oh, that was just a crash. Oh my goodness. I think that was the truck in the middle, I think. They were 3 wide off the exit of turn 4, and they just kind of all came together. Truck in the middle got sandwiched, and he's up on 2 wheels. Yikers. Yikers. Well. And then he just landed right back on his wheels again. Definitely outside the fuel window still. We were very close to halfway. We've already pitted once. We've got 2 sets of tires left the rest of the race. We've led every lap from the pole. Just trying to stay on top of strategy and continue to nail these restarts, which we've done with these. I don't know what the feel-like temperature is here, but it got up to 98 today, so I would assume that the feel-like temperature was triple digits. We're getting... I think we had a speed glitch there. We're about to get past. We did so good for so long. Unless they all pitted for some reason. They have pressure tires, but that can't be. They all pitted basically the same time. Because the caution came out in the middle of green flag pit stops. The 4th yellow. Or I guess that technically would have been the 5th. Yeah, so that last caution was our 6th caution of the race. Had 6 cautions in the first half of this one. Is it humid? Yeah, I was outside very little today. I let the dogs out, and that was pretty much about it. I mean, there's no reason for me to be out there. Noticeably cooler in the air conditioning, I can tell you that much. Memory. I mean, maybe you didn't have as good of a time as I did with NASCAR 05. We're all subject to our own opinion. Not every game is going to be everybody's cup of tea. You got to figure too, though. I was also a kid when that came out. I feel like kids are going to like most of the video games they play and not really think too much of it. All right, halfway home. If I go out here and win these next 3 races and get a little bit of help with where Eric Darnell finishes, because he's 2nd in points, we could clinch the championship at Talladega and not at Martinsville. If we were to do that, I would not be able to stream on Thursday unless I did a truck race, because the next cup race is the Coke 600, which is going to take 3 to 4 hours, and the Nazareth Busch race probably going to take about 3 hours. So with me working on Thursday, that's just not going to happen. Like, I'd be able to start the stream at 6, and I'd be streaming until 9 or 10 o'clock the night at work. Oh, boy. Well, that was a moment right there. Saved it. Again. Second time I've hit that bump. Well, third time, but the one time I was pitting, so it didn't hurt the truck as bad. The handling side of things, my speed was slow. Golf league in the heat. Hey, that ball's gonna be flying. And if it's dry too, you're crushing your drives. That guy crowded me a little bit. I had to lift. Otherwise, I would have ended up in the wall. You guys probably saw the angle I was taking. That truck is so off the pace. He's probably going to be the one to jack everybody up. That's probably why we see cautions as frequently. He probably jacks the whole field up and then will jackknife off the exit of turn 4 like they've done a couple times. That's the only spot we've seen an actual crash. Then entering turn 3, somebody ran out of fuel, and then we had 3 debris cautions. So those are the 3 yellows so far. I'm surprised we haven't seen a debris caution after the last year, considering somebody flipped. I know the truck that was sliding on its side, that truck already didn't have a hood. Maybe that's the reason we haven't seen a debris yellow. That driver also might be out of the race, so there's that too. And there it is. Yeah, caution's out. I think it's when we catch that slow truck. Because he is way off the pace. Unless we finally got a debris yellow. Yeah, that's what it seems to be. It looks like we finally got a debris caution. 7th caution of the race. We're getting close to the edge of the fuel window. We're not there yet, but we're getting there. Still 96. It's almost 7 o'clock. I'm staying out. I don't think we're in our window yet, but we are getting close. Yeah, we still got 90 laps left. I went 78 laps earlier, but that was also with 4 cautions. We've had 7 yellows now in the race, so I'd like to think we could get 4 more the rest of the race from here. $170. I don't think that's possible. Do you mean 107? Were they racing on the sun that day? 170 would be wild. I'm assuming you meant 107. That'd be terrible. That'd be terrible for the fans, the drivers. Oh my gosh. Well, we got guys passing out heat exhaustion when it's 88 degrees like it was in Pocono yesterday. Melting tires. 107, I would assume, is... We need clarification on this. If you read 170, that's got to be a typo on Wikipedia or something. Oh, the track surface. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. That is very hot. I'm trying to think. Well, boiling is 212. The track was 170. I definitely know I've seen race tracks when they're 70, 80 degrees, they can get up to like 120 pretty easily. Especially if it's fresher asphalt. So it's darker in color, so it's going to absorb the sun more. Trouble! That's a pretty hard hit. The 117 truck, 8th caution of the day. Yellow flag is out again. Into another restart we go. Green flag back in the air, lap 119. It's kind of like the Watkins Glen race, where it's going to be one of the longer races of the season, and just been a lot of yellows. I was not expecting that. But knowing that we're having this at New Hampshire now, we've got a Busch race coming up at New Hampshire very soon. So I'll definitely have to be on the lookout for that. I think they stacked up in turn 1 on the restart. Light wall scrape, nothing. Too bad there. Oh, I just saw somebody go straight. The 3rd place truck might have gotten up against the wall in turns 3 and 4. We're halfway out of gas with 80 to go. We've had 8 cautions. So I'm going to guess we're going to get 4 more yellows the rest of the race. Because it's, well, there's one. It's our 9th caution of the race. I'm going to guess 3 more yellows. Well, because that one came so much closer than it. Oh my goodness, Travis Quapple. I thought he was going into the catch fence. I thought he was in the catch fence for a second. I thought the back of the truck was going to get hit and torpedo around. There was no safer barrier on that outside wall because he hit on the straightaway part of it. I probably should have pit right there. I'll stay up for safety insurance. 75 laps to go. I've led every lap though. I don't want to not lead. And I also don't want to put myself back in that mess either. We should catch another caution before we have to pit again, but I was probably barely inside the window, assuming we get the amount of cautions I was expecting, that 3 to 4 more yellows. But now we can go a little bit further, catch a caution, we'll be even safer on fuel. I'd be shocked if we don't catch a yellow again before we pit. And if we did go really long like we did the last time we got close to a green flag pit stop and had to make a green flag stop, then yeah, there's a caution, lap 128. I think I have to pit here. I mean, we should be in the window to make it to the end. Oh man, they were 4 wide. Yeah, they probably wrecked off turn 4, didn't they? They wrecked going 3 wide earlier, so you can make sure they're gonna go 4 wide and wreck. He didn't tip all the way over, but he tried. 10 cautions. Man. Man, oh man, oh man. I'm pitting. We're going to top off. We're going to take 4 fresh Goodyears. We're going to have one more set of tires left, so for whatever reason we're short on gas. If we do get a long green flag run, see, that's the thing. We are outside the window if we did go green to the end, but I'm banking on there being a few more yellows. We'll probably be about 10 laps short, so 3 more cautions, we should be good. I don't want to risk having a caution in the middle of green flag pit stops like we did already in this race, like we did at Bristol last week. I was lucky enough that I was on pit road when the caution came out and not already cycled through. I didn't make it into my box yet, so stayed in the lead lap, stayed in the lead. 15th, green flag back in the air. Get me through this mess. This is going to get chaotic back here. We got to avoid carnage at all costs. They're bouncing off of each other off turn 2. Made up 5 positions in that first corner. We do have fresher tires than everybody else. 4 wide. Still 4 wide. Brief moment. I just realized I gotta get my laptop on a charger. I think the stream's lagging out a bit because of it. It took me a little extra longer to go get the charger because I saw an ant on the wall that I had to kill. So I had to run to the bathroom and grab a piece of toilet paper and clean that up. Yeah, he's gone now. I didn't give him the burial at sea, but he's gone. I've had a lot of carpenter ants in this house. I think it's because of the temperature being high. I've literally killed 9 ants today. 9. In the hallway outside of my bedroom, right here, there was literally 3 of them on the floor at one point this morning, like within a couple feet of each other. I'm like, where are they coming from? It's crazy. I don't eat up here. Well, I mean, I did yesterday, but on stream I ate a couple slices of pizza because we streamed for like 6 hours. But I've been finding them before that, so that's not the reason. Oh, caution's out. Well, if I would have known that was going to happen, I would have got my charger then and not paused it, but it's all right. Caution number 11. Well, I was expecting 4 more yellows when I said that we were going to get 4 more at 8 cautions. We've already had 3. So we're going to have more than the 4 yellows I was predicting, because that means we're only going to have 1 more the rest of the race. Almost made it to the front of the field, and it looks like they pitted. I think they just all pitted. So they've got more fuel than us, but we're pretty good right now. A little bit older tires than the rest of the field, but really we've only ran a couple green flag laps. They're 4 wide for second place. They were. Now they're 3 wide for second. They're still 3 wide for second. They might end up wrecking for that spot. Off turn 4. I had to get my laptop charger. That's why I paused it. I noticed the stream was lagging out. The laptop runs slow when OBS is on if it's low on battery. Because it goes into like a battery saving mode. So if I have like any apps open or whatever, they're not running full. And obviously that's really the only time it's ever low is if I'm streaming because I'm not on it enough otherwise. But to go. Yeah, I saw you put the comment about the coldest race too. I think I saw, man, I want to say it's the Iceberg. Somebody did a YouTube video on that race before. That I can remember watching. I think it was him. One of those NASCAR YouTubers did. Wasn't me, I can tell you that much. Yeah, I've won 3 World Series on MLB The Show in my first 7 seasons. And I was going to go for the record, because I was like, I wonder what the record is for the most championships won by one player. Because I got drafted by the Reds, I'm just staying with them, and we're like 25 games above 500 this season too. We're killing it right now. But I was like, oh yeah, I wonder, I've got to be on pace to breaking that record. Yogi Berra won 10 championships in the 50s and 60s with the Yankees and the Giants. Crazy. Guy won 10 World Series as a player. Like, we talk about, you know, Michael Jordan winning 6 titles in the 90s. Yogi Berra won 10 championships. That is insane. Granted, there wasn't as many teams back in the 50s and 60s, but still. That's why the Yankees have as many championships as they do. Well, I can't say that because there are a lot of teams that have been around for over 100 years that have barely won any titles, like the Cubs and the White Sox. They've only won a few. They've been around for a really long time. $55 laps to go at the line. But considering that the Reds are having another good season going right now on my MLB The Show, maybe I can get 4 of them in 8 years, and if I have a 20-year career, I'm going to have to average every other season, so I'd be on pace. Well, I'd be on pace to match it, I guess, to break it. It'd be 3 in a row, because I think we've won back-to-back, too, so I don't know how many we're going to be able to win in a row. It's got to be even more difficult on a career mode like that, but I'll do my best. I came in clutch, though, in the last World Series. The one before that, I had a good playoffs, but it wasn't, like, anything too outrageous. The last one, like, I don't know if we would have won if it wasn't for my play, because I contributed so much. A walk-off and, I guess it was game 4 of the World Series. We were down by 2, 3-run blast. That was crazy. I was just trying to drive the guys in, ball in the gap or something to tie the game. Blasted it. I'm not an expert at that game. I mentioned it already, my PCI placement's not great. You go out there and you watch a bunch of like baseball YouTubers, and they're freaking, it's insane. I'm like, I will never be that good. Some other sports games, sure, but not with baseball. It's just the new video games have passed me by. You know, I play all the old stuff, and everything nowadays is so much more advanced. There's so many button combinations for what used to be the simplest of things. I need an arcadey style video game. Or racing games, just because my reflexes for that are good enough, I guess. That I can adapt quickly. So despite how dominant we've been, there's not that many trucks that are off of the lead lap. Well, there is, because we had a caution in the middle of green flag pit stops, but most of the trucks that are a lap down were only because of that. Obviously, with the 11 cautions we've seen so far in these first 152 laps, made things a little bit different. One truck hitting pit road. Spencer Carswell in the 101 just hit the pits. Look out! Ramming it into everybody. You're going so slow. I should have probably just backed out of the gas and went to the bottom, but I didn't feel like doing that. I didn't think I was going to close in on him as quickly as I did. Guys at the back of the pack in this track, they're just so slow. Look at this. Well, I predicted at about halfway we were going to get 4 more yellows. We have 3. Got a decent green flag run going right now, but there's still 46 laps to go. So I'd imagine there's going to be more than 1 more. We're at 11 cautions in the race right now. And again, the restarts are the only thing that could hurt us. And we did have a speed glitch on one of them where I almost got passed for the lead about the 2nd lap after the restart. So this race isn't over by any means if something like that happens with a few laps to go. Because then I'll lose the lead and never get it back because they're going to pull so far ahead of us. I'm not really aware of exactly how there is a speed glitch to begin with, but we've seen it. No, I don't really watch streamers. I don't have time for it. Mainly because I'm streaming myself. You know, if I wasn't streaming, especially like during the week like this, you know, maybe, but yeah, I don't venture out of my way. Do I watch anyone else? No, I mean, I really don't. I mean, there's some wrestling streamers that I watch, but I don't watch their streams necessarily. It's more like a recap kind of video, just see what their thoughts are. Me being a professional wrestling fan. Do like quizzes and stuff too. Huge nerd when it comes to, you know, like sports quizzes and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, so there's some wrestling content creators, but yeah, NASCAR wise, not really. I try not to. I don't want other people's opinions to influence my own, because I know obviously with having a NASCAR YouTube channel, I get asked a lot of NASCAR stuff, or I talk a lot about NASCAR stuff. So I try to have my own subject opinion on things. And I feel like if I listen to too many other avenues on the same topic, some of their thoughts might feed into mine. And I'm all up for, like, not only like debate, but if you change my opinion on something. But I don't want my opinion to start overlapping with others, because, you know, I'll have a tendency to probably agree with them and regurgitate what they say, because the way they said it probably makes the most sense in my head, so I'll regurgitate it in the exact same way, and I don't want to run into that. Nine-second lead. This got to be our largest lead of the race. Might be our longest green flag run of the race so far as well. And now the caution. With 39 laps to go, coming on 38 to go. Yellow flag's out for the 12th time. Somebody's hood fell off. Somewhere around the racetrack. It's that guy right there. His hood fell off. 35 laps to go. Green flag back in the air. Three and four wide on the restart, up in the front of the pack yet again. Just behind us. We do have one set of tires left the rest of the way. Fuel is looking good to the end, because we haven't seen as many cautions as I would have hoped. But we've got to be getting about halfway out of gas pretty soon. I want to say we pitted with about the lap 128 yellow. Was that when it came out? Or maybe that's when we restarted. We went 78 laps, but that was with 4 cautions in the middle of that run. We've only had 1 so far. So it could be a bit concerning for fuel. There are only 17 trucks on the lead lap. Actually, we have less than that. It looks like 14 trucks on the lead lap. I lapped a few more during that last green flag run, since it was the longest of the race. Yeah, halfway with 31 to go. Man, if we should be good. Yeah, I was banking on a few more yellows than we've seen. Well, Chase Briscoe was having to save a lot to the end. We might have to also. There's no need to if we catch another caution. I think I'm just going to pit just to be safe. I know putting myself getting quicker than everybody else, that's why I would do it. Very few instances that I would actually do something like that. Because track position is king, I feel like, with this game, but we've been so dominant today, more so than probably any other race this season, when it comes to just raw speed. Like I said, we got 1 set of tires, because I do limit myself. 3 in the truck series, 4 in the Busch series, and then however many 100 miles the cup race is. Coke 600 will end up having 6 sets. Do I watch Real Radman? Not really. I have watched his stuff before. I definitely don't watch a lot of other NASCAR, like, gaming YouTubers. I do enough of it my own. This is all the fixing of NASCAR gaming I need in, you know, one day, which is already a lot considering I do full races. "25 laps left." Oh man, I thought I was gonna spin out. That was a really long drift. Hit that bump again. That was the 3rd time I've done that. Oddly enough, right after I hit that bump, now the right side tires are wearing out. Funny how that works. Now that was not my smoke. That's off the exit of turn 4. They must have been close to wrecking again. 21 laps left. This would probably be the longest green flag run of the race if it stayed green from the last restart. So, now another reason I'm coming in, I'm taking fresh tires. I mean, I would think fuel's going to be good to the end, and there's a caution. 21 laps to go. We should be good to the end. Oh my gosh, that guy's on 2 wheels down there, and somebody else wrecked. And they had a mini parking lot right behind him. I think it was towards the tail end of the pack. All right, we'll come in. We got 1 set of tires left. This might make things a little interesting, but top off on fuel. Didn't have to top off. Take a little bit more fuel just in case. For some reason we were just a bit short. Better safe than sorry. Thought about having a Discord. No, I mean, not really. I mean, if I didn't stream every day, then yeah. I mean, I went on a little bit of a break period, but felt like I did kind of need that for mental stability. Oh, we got trouble. How was that not a caution? They just went all the way up to the wall. 3 wide on our end. Yeah, that's true. Green, white, checkered. Didn't even really think about that. 4 wide. Yep, still 4. 16 laps left, and we've got fresher tires than everybody else and mowing through the field. Getting through the thick of it right now is the big thing. $15 to go, up to 4th. Chad McCumbee up next. 2 fantasy drivers running 1st and 2nd at the moment. I think Sunoco will stay with NASCAR forever as long as they don't go under. Although 76 Racing Fuel was with NASCAR for the longest time until they weren't, so I just feel like the marketing with Sunoco, I mean, they've probably gotten so much business just from being the official fuel of NASCAR for so long. I'd be shocked if they went anywhere. Guess if they ended up with hybrids someday, but that's going to be a long ways down the road before that would ever happen. If it happens. Back in the lead. 12 laps to go this time by. And we've got the freshest tires in the field now. Some people will buy gas at Sunoco just because of that. Yeah, exactly. There's probably some people that only have Goodyear tires because of NASCAR too. Like, my tires are Goodyears. If I wasn't a NASCAR fan, I probably wouldn't get Goodyear tires. I don't know. I just... When they're new and they got the... I mean, mostly it's white with the lettering on it, but it reminds me of getting fresh sticker tires on a cup car under a green flag pit stop. And when I get a new set of tires, the few and far between times that I've had to, it looks like the car looks like a champ. Ten laps left. We've had 13 cautions so far today at New Hampshire. Next question is, will we stay green to the end of the race? I don't think so. I'm definitely not going to be shocked if we saw another yellow. This will be a 17-lap green flag run to the checker. We've had a couple of them longer than 20 laps, like 2 or 3 runs. So it could, but not looking as likely. Especially if we catch that slow truck up here, because that seems to be when things really get backed up, is when we catch those couple of slow trucks. And we'll be catching them in a couple of laps. Maybe a lap or 2. On our last set of tires. I don't imagine anybody else is going to pit during the next caution. Again, we should be good. We're obviously plenty good on fuel now with the last stop. I'm surprised they don't sell checker flags at Sunoco with like the Sunoco logo in the middle of it. Yeah, I'm surprised. Maybe some of them do. Remote locations. Probably sell it at NASCAR tracks. Six laps to go. Hoping that the field could get through those two slow trucks that we already passed. Not an incident. We did have a speed glitch on one of the restarts earlier in the day. And that would probably be the only thing that I could think of that would take us out of a shot to win on a late race restart. So better to just keep it green otherwise. 5 laps to go. We had a caution with 2 laps to go in the Busch race at Chicagoland, which set up a 1-lap green-white checker restart. We had to fight for our life, so race that we would have had won otherwise, and here we are. In this race today, might have the same thing. There's some smoke off turn 4. Didn't warrant a caution the last time by. 4 to go. It's got to be trucks driving around with quite a bit of damage, too. .410 is our fastest lap of the race. Nothing but clean air in front of us. We're not going to be catching another truck the rest of the day if it did stay green. We'll be coming up on 2 laps to go this time by. We do know that cautions come out on the final lap on this game. We found that out in the Watkins Glen truck race last Tuesday night. Just ran our fastest lap of the race. We do have fresher tires. 27.392. I'm racing to get to that white flag as soon as I can. That's what I'm pushing hard for right now. Get me to the white. We don't have to worry about a restart. Hot stepped it into 3 a bit there. Up off the exit of turn 4. White flag in the air. Here we go. Fastest lap again. 27.344. That was even with hot stepping it into turn 1. Some smoke off of turn 4 didn't warrant a caution, but that's a good reason as to why we got to the white flag. And the checkered flag on the other side for Mike Skinner. This could be the 14th win of the Truck Series season for Skinner. We got trouble off turn 4. A couple trucks are pitting. 4.5 second lead at the checker. 2 hours, 25 minutes, and 14 seconds to finish up today's race and a 4.5 second margin of victory. Yeah, buddy. All right. .41 mile per hour average race speed, 21 lead changes, 13 cautions. We led 181 of 200 laps, so there definitely wasn't 21 lead changes because we led all but 19 laps of the race. Noah Howe led for 8 laps, 4 for W. Tucker. They finished 2nd and 3rd. TJ Bell didn't lead a lap, finished 4th. Chad McCumbee led 2 laps, finishing 5th. M. Davis ends up in 6th. Travis Quapple, he crashed hard, but still finished the race in 7th. Eric Darnell, who started on the front row, finishes 8th. B. Chapman 9th. D. Johnson rounds out the top 10. And we have 14 trucks finish on the lead lap. See how many DNF'd our teammate Johnny Benson, 2 laps down to 28th. Tough day for him. H. Jackson, Art Cleveland. George Teague, Jay Thomas, Craig Kinzer, they all had engine failures and or crashed out. One of those might have been somebody who ran out of gas earlier in the race too. But 5 DNFs in tonight's Truck Series race. And on to Las Vegas tomorrow. We had 13 yellows tonight. We're probably going to see a lot of yellows at Vegas tomorrow because we had a lot earlier this season. It's because it's a repave and reconfiguration. So for this game, it seems like the AI just don't know how to keep it off of each other. Moral of the story, I guess. See you guys tomorrow night. Thanks for watching. And more NASCAR 08 coverage coming up in less than 24 hours. Have a good rest of your Monday, everybody.